This week on Street Rodding American Style, we're splitting up and heading to Kirk, Oklahoma and Belle Plain, Kansas. In Kirk, we'll be looking at a 1923 Ford Model T and a 1975 Volkswagen Bug. And then in Belle Plain, Kansas, it's a unique 36 Dodge Coupe and a 1947 Ford Coupe. It was windy, stormy, and threatened tornadoes. But if you have the street rodding addiction, you always brave the storm. It's Kirk, Oklahoma and Belle Plain, Kansas, next on Street Rodding American Style.
Support for Street Rodding American Style is provided in part by BG Products Incorporated. BG Products Incorporated is dedicated to making vehicles last longer and perform better in the meantime. In shops all over the world, BG Products serves the driving public with innovative products and proven programs of automotive maintenance. More information can be found at bgfindashop.com.
They make you look, dream, and sometimes even wish. These are street rods, built or just owned by those who have the same passion. My name is David Wolf, and along with Simon McCormick and Patricia Brown, we travel to admire these passions. These are works of art and are designed with the personality and the ingenuity of the owner in mind. Built in garages, barns, and even under shade trees in communities all across this great land of ours. This is more than just a hobby. This is an addiction. This is Street Rodding American Style. Si, I just saw the weather report. It's not looking good out there.
It's kind of wet.
What should we do today?
I got a plan.
What is it?
You go to Belle Plain, Kansas.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Newkirk, Oklahoma, and we will beat the storms.
Awesome. We'll come back here, we'll compare notes, we'll see what we come up with.
Let's do it, man.
See you later, guys.
We're out. Jason, this is awesome, man. What are we looking at?
This is my Bug. It's a 75.
In 1975, the average yearly income was $14,000. The Vietnam War came to an end, and on television, Saturday Night Live debuted.
It's got 4-inch fat fenders.
4-inch fat fenders. What do you mean by that?
They're 4 inches wider, and they're steel. They're not fiberglass.
In 1975, these fenders would have been a little bit skinnier.
Yep, a lot skinnier.
Did you do them yourself?
Yep.
Because I've heard you can buy the aftermarket fenders, right?
Yeah, you can buy the fiberglass ones.
And you decided to tackle it yourself and just widen them out?
Yeah, I wanted them steel. I didn't want the fiberglass.
Well, you've got a lot of meat underneath of this thing, right?
Yeah.
So you had to make them a little bit wider to fit, probably, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the back tires are 9.5 inches wide.
What is stock about this thing? I mean, the hinges are stock?
The hinges, the hood, the front hood, and the body, that's about it.
That's about it.
Everything else has been modified.
In 1975, we would have had maybe a 1600cc motor.
Yep.
What's this thing got in it?
And this is a 2387 with about 225 to 250 horsepower.
250 horsepower in a Volkswagen Bug. That is awesome. That is awesome. Do you ever pull up the line with somebody, give them a run for their money?
I've tried racing a few people.
V8 killer. Do you get a lot of attention to this thing? Do people
yeah.
realize what you've done to it at all?
Yeah, a lot of people. I even have guys in Corvettes, say, man, that's a nice car.
It's really cool. It's really cool. I noticed you got the Stinger exhaust in the back.
Yeah.
Pretty much well known for how loud it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
You ever get any problems with that?
You got to go slowly by the cops.
Yeah, I imagine so. You get the baffle in it, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it quiets it down a little bit.
Every now and then I'll pull the baffle out. And
for fun?
Just for fun.
Now, when I look at your motor, the first thing that drew me to it is there's a ton of chrome in there.
Lots of chrome.
And I've heard with Volkswagen, there's no radiator. It's air-cooled.
Yeah, it's all air-cooled.
And I've heard with all this chrome, you can overheat really easily. Do you ever have any problems overheating?
Yeah, a few times. You gotta watch how you drive in the summer,
You can't romp on it all the time everywhere
Yeah,
you
you
go.
stick your foot in it and it'll probably blow up.
Did you have to do anything to the running boards to match the when you spread out the fenders?
Yeah, I couldn't find any running boards that would fit. They're all really narrow, and so I just made these running boards.
When I look at this thing, I noticed that in 1975, it would have had the wing windows in there.
Yeah,
What have you done there?
we put the one-piece windows in with power windows.
You did the power windows.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was not too bad. I've had some problems, but it's just a learning process.
Yeah. Now, the underneath here, this is the trunk. Stock anything in there? What have you done there?
We redid the whole trunk and put a aluminum fuel tank in it and made a little storage compartment where the spare tire used to be.
Awesome. With 250 horsepower, what kind of fuel mileage are you getting on this thing?
It depends. It gets 20 on the highway, and if you drive it in town with your foot in it, it gets about 7.
That's okay. That's okay. Jason, I noticed you got Kragers on here. I've never seen that before on a Volkswagen. How'd you do that?
We put wheel adapters on it.
Because in 75, there would have been 4 lugs, right?
Yep. Now it's 5-bolt Chevy bolt pattern.
That's cool. It gives you a little bit of choice to choose from there if you ever want to change your mind. Do you have any plans to do anything else in the future?
Maybe some different wheels, maybe some nicer ones, but
Yeah.
other than that, I'm happy with it.
It's a good-looking car, man. Jason, I got one last question for you. I gotta hear this bad boy. Can we hear it?
Sure.
Fire it up, man.
All right.
I'm getting really tired of the wind and the rain. So today, I'm headed inside to Chaotic Customs. My job is to get a woman's perspective on street rides. Okay, Karma, so you and your husband own this fabulous shop. And so you have the inside track on street riding, is that right?
That is right.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who said that street riding is only a man's world?
Well, I think it always has been a man's world, but I think times are changing. There's more women getting involved. There's more families getting involved, and it's becoming a family event and family activities.
So we're ready to say, move on over, let it sing. Is
That's
that right?
That's right.
Because we've got some skills too, right?
That's right.
So how long have you been interested in street riding?
My husband and I have been married 21 years, and on our second date, he took me to a car show.
Oh no.
And
does this end well?
it does end well.
Obviously so, because you're still married,
Yeah,
right?
I learned very quickly that in order to spend time with him, I would be at car shows.
Yeah.
So I developed a love for it very quickly.
So what all do you do? How do you help out?
Mainly I do the office work. When we first got started, it was just my husband working. I would do a lot of the sanding, a lot of the waxing at the end, the easy stuff.
Detailing?
Yes, some of that kind of stuff. And as the kids got older, they were able to fill in for me.
Right.
And now we have enough employees that I don't have to get dirty.
If you don't want to.
Exactly.
But when you're ready, you're in. Is that correct?
That's right.
So do you see a lot of women around the shop coming with their husbands, or maybe even bringing their own cars?
We are seeing more and more women that have their own cars. Quite a few of our customers that come bring their wives with them.
Okay.
They're spending a lot of money on their vehicles, and they want to see where their retirement's going.
There you go.
Yeah.
So are they really wanting to see where their retirement's going, or they just want to check up on their husbands and make sure they're where they're supposed to be?
Maybe both.
Maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah.
Okay, so on your second date, you went to this car show. Did you really develop a love for street riding, or are you just faking it?
You can't fake it. I really did develop a love for it. It's a lot of fun. Who doesn't have fun riding in a hot rod?
Yes.
Everybody loves that.
And who doesn't look good riding in a hot rod, right?
That's right.
Very, very cool. Okay, so how would you say that women can gain credibility with men in terms of street riding in cars?
You have to be prepared to have fun. My favorite thing to do, my daughter and I take the hot rod, we go cruising. You pull up at a stoplight, and every time a car full of young 20-something guys in a Mustang pull up next to you, and we smoke them.
Oh, I was gonna ask.
That's
you
how you
spin
gain the
tires.
credibility. You bet. You beat them off the line.
Well, I have a ton more questions for you, Karma. But right now, Cy and David are gonna go check out some cars. So you guys get busy, and we'll keep talking.
If cars and music are your love, then it only makes sense to channel them into one awesome passion. That's what Ricky did with his 36 Dodge Coupe. And it's next on Street Riding American Style.
Ricky, what are we looking at here?
1936 Dodge Coupe.
In 1936, the average yearly wage was $1,700. The Zippo lighter was invented, and the hit at the box office was the Alamo.
36 Dodge Coupe, you piece other cars together on this. What did you use from other cars?
Well, I've got small block Chevy motor. I got a 46 Chevy headlights on it. Basically a 58 radiator. Derby can. It's just a little bit of everything. Mustang 2 front end.
Now, how did you come across this car?
Well, my brother bought it, and we had the Mustang 2 front end done, and then sat out there, and then he says, hey, you want to do something with this? And my wife gave me this amount of money, and so I bought the car, sold all the other pieces.
Now you said this amount of money. How much is this amount of money?
$3,000 to build it.
$3,000. She
Right.
said you only had $3,000 to build this, and you made this out of $3,000.
$3,000, but when I bought the car for $1,500, sold the parts for $1,000, everything on it. So I only got the car for $500.
Okay, let me back this whole thing up. You had $3,000 to build the car, but you needed more money, so you pieced some of the parts out to get the more money you needed.
Right.
It's kind of like selling your firstborn, isn't it, to get the more money for the secondborn?
Well, sometimes you have to do that.
What's unique about this engine are your headers and the zoomies. The zoomies are coming up instead of going down. Why'd you do
Well,
that?
they're sprint headers, and they wouldn't fit on the frame, so I just switched them over, and I'm kind of glad they didn't fit on the frame.
Oh, it's great. Are they baffled out or
Yeah,
not?
they're 4-inch motorcycle
Okay,
baffles.
so this car is roadworthy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I noticed another theme about this car is music. I'm looking inside there, I see Neil Young, I see Hendrix, I see Jim Morrison. Why was the theme music?
Well, my brother and my son and I was just sitting in the garage, and I've been a player for years, and I was just jamming on the guitar, and my son says, we ought to just put that in the dash.
Yeah, because I saw the little guitar on the dash there.
Right. And
So
it's just-
the whole idea was to make this whole music oriented.
Right.
I see on the front grille here, it says Fenderless Stratocaster instead of a Fender Stratocaster.
Correct.
Still keeping with that same theme with music and guitars. The checkerboard effect that you have, the valve covers, also on the turning signals. Where'd you get that at?
Well, duct tape does wonders nowadays,
Duct
man.
tape.
Just black and white checkered duct tape.
For real, that's all it is.
That's all it is.
Just gonna add, again, adding to the whole charisma of the car. And going with the charisma of the car, if I look at the back section, the taillights are completely unique. What'd you do there?
Okay, I just basically hand drew musical notes, and then basically cleaned it up on CAD, and then cut them out on a water jet in a square, and then I actually made the roll pan,
Yeah.
and then welded them in.
I'm gonna look inside now. Let's go back to the interior. We already talked about the posters. The seats, those are not Dodge seats.
No, them are 1970s dining room table swiveled chairs with the original vinyl upholstery.
So it's just a bar seat from a dining room table that tools back
Really,
and
it's
forth.
basically dining room table. They
That is
actually
so cool.
swivel, you know, it's
And then I looked at the shifter. The shifter is not also stock.
no, it's like a 1955 Shure microphone shifter that is actually, you can actually make it go up and down and make it as tall as you want or as low as you want.
Really? So you can go for the rat fake look.
Right.
And then also the console that it has on it.
Console
Really
is
different. Where'd you come from?
like a 50s, early 60s Coca-Cola thermometer.
The thermometer.
The thermometer was broke, so I just cut out the center of it. And then my neighbor, I needed a round console for it to sit
Yeah.
on it, and he handmade it for me. And
There's a lot of ingenuity here, a lot of imagination. Ricky, do me a favor. Can we hear this bad boy?
yeah, we can see if she'll start.